Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Tina Bickford here from the Tatted Stamper. Happy Sunday morning. Today is August 18th, 2024. Welcome to my craft room. So today we're going to make a card using the Layers of Beauty bundle, which we'll talk about in just a minute. It's kind of rainy and gloomy here. It's like damp, yucky. Kind of already missed summer, and summer's not gone yet. So anyway, if you're here, if you're watching live, go ahead and leave me a comment so that I know that you're here. Let me know if there's anything going on for you this morning. Good morning, Mom. Let me know if you're doing anything fun today. So yeah, want to make a card? All right. So I didn't do any of the dimensions ahead of time. I don't know. Do you notice that my backdrop is different? So I bought a new cart. I bought a cart for my Cricut because I'm an equal opportunity crafter. So I bought a cart for my Cricut, and I already have so much stuff in this room that I didn't really know where I was going to put it. So long story short, I ended up rearranging my entire craft room home office yesterday. I still have some tidying up to do, so I'll be working on that after this video for sure. So so this window that you see here was actually the window that was in front of me before. So the back was my closet. So my closet door now is that way. Yeah, so it's completely different, but I like it. And the room somehow feels bigger, even with more stuff in here now. So, all right, let's flip down to the desktop cam. We'll talk about just a couple of things first. So today I'm gonna be using my Glass Mat Studio. My Glass Mat Studio. I'll turn the light on. The Glass Mat Studio is because we're going to be using blending brushes and ink, and I've been showing them using a piece of the grid paper, but I wanted to actually show the Glass Mat Studio. So the Glass Mat Studio is, I think it's like $60. But it comes with the glass mat itself, which we'll talk about in a second. It comes with this silicone mat that really sticks to the mat, or to the glass mat. And you also get this chamois. When you get the chamois, it's hard as a rock. It feels like a dense piece of foam, but you wet it and it just is very pliable. And it's for, wiping all of the ink and stuff off your glass mat. So the Glass Mat Studio, I put a Post-it here to help with the reflection from the ring light, because that reflection is annoying, but I need it. I need the light. So the Glass Mat Studio actually has the grid. It's printed. It's inside glass, so it's never going to fade. It's never going to wear. It's got, well, you can't really see it in the camera. It's got inches on the bottom and centimeters on the side. Oh, it's got inches on this. It's got inches on this side and bottom, and it's got centimeters on the top and this side. So I love it. I do not love how the ring light reflects off of it, but that's the ring light. So let me just talk about the products we're going to be using. So we're going to be using this stamp set. It's a bundle. It's called Layers of Beauty. It's really quite unimpressive when you look at the cover. Like it looks very like simple, and you know, you think, well, what am I got to color all that in. I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of coloring. So I like to color like simple things, but when you get into like all of this detail, like I don't want to color all of that. So this actually comes with, open it up. It comes with all the dies, and it comes with all of the photopolymer stamps. The ones, it's actually easier to see all of them on the front cover there. You can just, let me just get rid of that banner. Sorry. It's kind of blocking the way. There. All right. So it comes with, you know, it's like happy anniversary, this little flower, little leaf, grateful for you, God bless, this big flower here, a little spriggy thing here, and, you know, another little flower here. They're not true to size on the cover. Always just know that none of them are true to size. It just shows you the picture. So comes with all of those stamp sets, all of the stamps, sorry. And it comes with all of these dies. You've got this monster die here that will actually cut this entire bouquet. And then you've got some smaller ones that will cut the leaf in the little sprig, and this little the flower, and this little flower, wherever that little flower went, right over here. And then you've got extra one, and you've got this one here, which will actually just cut out that individual rose right there. Then you have some extra dies in here that don't cut out the stamped images. So you've got a couple that will give you some leaves, bunches of leaves, and one that will give you a little tag. It also comes with these masks. So these are, you know, just the plastic or whatever they make them from, the acetate masks for doing blending, and you're going to get layers. So this is what we're actually going to do today, because I love this. So we're going to be using that, and we're also going to be using this. This is a new set that I just got. I haven't really done any playing with it at all. It's the Labeled with Love. This is a bundle. This is a unique bundle where you can actually get this as bundled with the dies, which is what I chose, or you can actually get it bundled with a punch. With the dies, you actually get 3 of the same dies, so you could cut out 3 at the same time if you wanted, where the punch, you would only be able to punch out 1 at a time. So with this one, you do get, you know, it's the to from and the birthday package with some little, you know, looks like confetti that would go on top of that. Happy birthday, the 2-step stamping for the butterfly, some more little packages down here. This is a 2-step stamping process. Also, you stamp the leaves and then the flowers, you know, in a separate, you know, well, it doesn't have to be a different color, I guess. Just for you, thanks, friend. You are loved, with little rose on each side there, and enjoy today. And then this is the label stamp that you would die cut if you wanted to have that edging, that border on your die cut. So I'm going to be using the butterflies out of this set. And so I pulled this. So I wanted to make this a sympathy card, and I wanted to use a sentiment that I don't have a new stamp set from. So I'm using a very old, retired, one of my all-time favorite stamps for sympathy. And this one it just says, with heartfelt sympathy. And I love the font on this one. So I'm going to use this one. I'm going to try to make it fit in the die for this for when we put it on the front of the card. And maybe I just don't use it at all, but we'll see. We'll play with that as we go. All right. So we are going to be using also the cherry cobbler and the pebbled path for, oh yeah, sorry about that ring light there. Cherry cobbler and pebbled path. And we're also going to be using the Memento Tuxedo Black. And for cardstock, we're using the pebbled path, the cherry cobbler, and the basic white. And I didn't cut anything ahead of time. I told you that I didn't cut anything. So you are building this card right along with me as I go. I have my sample card sitting in front of me. So let's get some of this stuff moved out of the way. Bring in my paper trimmer. All right. So I wanted a pebbled path card base. So here's all of our cardstock right here. You can see those. So with the pebbled path, I'm going to actually score this first because I'm going to cut enough to make a second card. So I'm going to go ahead on, I'm going to cut on the long side. So it's going to be 8.5 by 5.5, but I'm going to score the entire sheet at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to line my paper up with the 4 1/4 up here at the top. Can't really see that very well. 4 1/4 up here at the top. Do that. And I'm going to use my scoring blade, and I'm just going to go back and forth a couple of times. Now I have a score all the way down the sheet of paper. So my second card will be scored now also. So now I'm just going to take on the long side, I'm going to line it up with the 5.5. And using my cutting blade, I'm going to cut. So now I have 2 card bases ready to go. And then I was going to do I want to do a layering piece. So I'm going to take my cherry cobbler, and since the card front itself, so the card's going to be 4 1/4 by 5.5, I'm just going to come down 1/4 inch on each dimension, and that's going to be my layering piece. So actually, I'm just going to come down. I want a really thin one for this one, so I'm going to come down just 1/8 of an inch, not 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to cut this one at 4 1/8, and this one we're going to cut at 5 3/8, and I'm going to just cut 2 of those because I'm going to make 2 cards. So those are my layering pieces there. And then the next piece, the white cardstock, basic white cardstock, needs to be smaller than the cherry cobbler because we are going to layer that on top of the cherry cobbler. So we're just going to come down another 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to line this up. The cherry cobbler was 4 1/8. So I'm going to line that up to the 4 inch and cut. And then the cherry cobbler was 5 3/8. So we're going to go to 5 1/4 on this one. 5 1/4, and going to cut a second one. Also 5 1/4. And there we have our cardstock. And I'm going to just put that paper trimmer off to the side for now. And I'm going to take one of each of these. Okay. All right. So with I'm going to just set the cherry cobbler and the pebbled path aside. We do not need those right now. And I am going to get my my big bouquet, rose bouquet, and I am going to stamp. I'm going to get the Memento black, and I'm going to ink up that ink pad. So when I'm inking up a really big stamp like this, I do it upside down, and I just tap do kind of a tap and a rub on there just to make sure you get that nice and inked up. Okay. And then I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to figure out how this best fits on this size paper, size cardstock. That looks good about there. And just press. I think I'm a little bit closer to this edge than I am this edge, but we can probably use that to our benefit when we put the sentiment on. There you go. We have that. And we'll just set that ink pad aside, the stamp aside, sorry. And I am going to get my masks. Okay. So, and these I'll try to work over on this side so that because these will obviously reflect the ring light. So what you're going to do is I always work with, when I'm doing this, I always work with this rose here towards me, just because that's the way the masks make sense to me. So I'm going to use just a little piece of washi tape, and I'm just going to tape down the corners so that I can keep this in place. Then we're going to need washi tape for the masks also to keep those right in place. So let me just get some washi. I should have had this cut ahead of time. So just get some more washi. All right. So what you're going to do with the masks, if you can see, try to get this up there, and it's not focusing. There you can see it. There is a number right up here in the corner where that triangle cut is. And so there are 5 there that it finally focused there. So you're going to see these numbers up here. What you're going to do, you're going to use the masks in order of the number, and the triangle cutout is to help you line up, each mask. So the first thing you're going to do is just find the position, and you can see like where the cutout is on the rose. When you use the first mask, you can see where it lines up with all of the flowers and stuff. And it's important to get this first one. Well, I mean, if you're, looking for perfection, I guess it's important to get it lined up, because all of your other masks are going to be lined up according to this one. Now, I have seen some demonstrators do the blending first and then do the stamping the Memento black over what they did for blending. I like doing the black first. It's kind of like having lines to color in. So I'm just going to get my cherry cobbler and my pebbled path inks ready to go here. And I'm going to grab a couple blending brushes. Now, this is actually where this mat comes in handy. I'm just going to set it off the screen, you know, off the camera view, but to hold my blending brushes so that I don't get ink all over everything. So I'm just going to set those over to the side. Okay, and we are ready to start blending. So I'm going to take my Pebbled Path and I'm going to just take the blending brush and just ink it up. And then I'm going to take the brush and I'm just going to rub it on the glass mat just to kind of get a little bit of the ink off, because I want this first layer to be lighter. So I'm just going to come up here and rub some of the ink off on that. And you can't really see that very well. I mean, you can see a little bit there. And then I'm just going to come in, and I also like to, this shift a little bit. I like to, sorry, that shifted just a little bit on me. There, and there. Like to start just with a nice light motion. And one of the tips with the blending brushes that I picked up from a demonstrator, I don't even remember, was that if you hold the blending brush down by the handle, you actually have a lighter touch. So I want a nice light touch on here, and you're going to get all of those little areas. Oh, and you know what I did? I went right over that large one, that large rose with the Pebbled Path, and I want that to be red or cherry cobbler. So I'm going to grab my blending brush with my cherry cobbler. I'm going to give that just a little loaded up, and I'm going to come over just another little spot, and I'm going to come off, just take some of that ink off of there because I want it to be light. And then I'm going to start on the mask a little bit more over here to get a little more of that ink off, especially the reds. They're very, very like red. And I'm just going to come in and just color that rose. Okay. Doesn't look like much right now, but bear with me. All right. I did forget to do one thing, to tell you one thing. When you're doing the, when you're putting the mask down, because you have to line up the mask with your cut, do that right on the edge. And you can pick two edges to do. You can also, on the glass mat, you could also, you know, do trace it with dry erase marker. If you didn't want to do the ink. All right, so I'm just going to pull this mask up, and I'm going to take my washi, because I'm going to reuse this washi on the next one. I'm going to set my masks aside. Now, cleaning the masks is actually really super easy. I just run them under water. That's all I do. So now I'm taking mask number 2. And look, I got ink on my finger, of course. I am going to throw the washi on. Oops. Like 2 edges of this. I'm going to now line my cutout, my triangular cutout with that one, and this one up with this one. And that will line up your images. Just, oops, right there. Oh, there. You do want to be careful that you don't rub in the glass mat. All right, so I'm going to do the cherry cobbler first. This one, I want this one to be just a little bit darker layer, but I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to hit some of that ink off. And this mask, the number 2 mask actually has a really fragile piece right here. So I like to go, I'm holding it up just a little bit higher on the handle. And I'm just going to come in here very, very gentle for that one. And then I'm going to do the same thing with my pebbled path. I'm going to come in here and just take a little bit of that ink off, holding it right around the neck of the brush. And I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to fill in these. And just get all of the little bits, all of the little holes. Trust the process here. Trust the process. Okay. Let me pull this mask off now. Okay. Washi, put the washi side. You see what it's doing now? Like, can you see there's some, you know, layers now in here, different color, you know, different depths. So it gives a little more depth. So now I'm going with the number 3 mask. I'm just going to throw my washi on there to keep it in place. I am going to line it up with my marking and my marking. Just like that. Looks good. I'm going to go in with I'm going to go in with the cherry cobbler. Now I'm going to actually pull some of the ink off of this glass mat. And I'm going to use that. And now I'm coming up right on, holding right onto the head of the blending brush to get a nice dark concentration of that ink. And I'm going to do the same thing with the pebbled path. I don't think that that's going to be enough to give me what I want. So I'm just going to ink it up. I'm going to come in here. I'm just going to right on the mask itself. And I'm going to come in nice and dark concentration of ink in all the little spaces. And you can actually pull some ink off of the mask and reuse it, redistribute it over here. I'm just going over it and over it, just like that. Now, oh Lord, I really need to get that ink off my fingers before I get it everywhere. Pull that off. Look how beautiful those roses are. Roses, beautiful. All right, so the number 4 mask. This one is the leaves. So the only thing on this card, I decided the only thing I wanted on this card to be red was that one rose. And so funny story, the reason is when my husband used to buy me flowers a lot. He used to buy me flowers a lot. And when he did, so I'm going to just close up this cherry cobbler because as you can see on my fingers, I'm getting myself covered cherry cobbler. So we'll just close it up for the moment. So anyway, he always my favorite flowers were carnations. I used to, you know, love the carnations. But he would always make sure that even though he was buying me a bouquet of carnations, he would always have one red rose put in there. So I decided when I saw this bundle and I saw this, you know, the roses, the cluster of roses, the bouquet of roses, I thought, well, I wanted to do a sympathy card or something, but I definitely wanted it to be, have one red rose in there. So this one right here, I'm back to holding it down. So the leaves, there are only 2 masks for the leaves, for coloring in of the leaves. So I'm coming in here and I'm just holding it at about the neck because I want a little bit of a lighter touch. I don't want so much. And I'm just going to color all of those leaves. I'm going to pull some of this ink from the mask, bring it down here. And you're not going to get it on anything else. So you can just pull and pull. You do want to be careful. Like there's an area right up here where the mask is very delicate again. So you just want to be mindful of that. Okay, one more mask. One more mask. So we're going to take that one off. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. All right, so this is the last one. This is 5. You see that? Yeah, 5. Can't see it great, but 5. So we're going to place our washi on there. And I'm going to line that up again, just like that, like so. Take that down. Come back in with the pebbled path, and I want a little more concentration here. So I'm not gonna go off here. I'm just gonna come off on the mask itself. And there may be cherry cobbler ink on my paper. We'll see. Good thing I cut enough to make a second card. Or if there's cherry cobbler ink there, sounds like a really good place to put an embellishment. And I'm just going to come back in and get a little more pebble path for down here. Well, there you go. Let's get this. Oh, look, it's not on the card. Yay. It's on the mask. It's not on the card. So that was the thing that I noticed too when I was doing this. The masks, some of the colors on the masks, they tend to stain the mask a little bit. The reds obviously are the biggest offenders for that. The reds, anything with a red base kind of stains your photopolymer stamps. It stains your masks. So I'm just going to come in and wipe all of this ink off with my chamois so that we do not get that on. Look, I'm going to get myself covered in ink. Okay, so clean that up nice so we have that covered. Okay. So there we have it. So there's with all of the different layers in there. We've got nice dimension, color and dimension there. So what I did with my sample card is I used one of my blending brushes, the Cherry Cobbler blending brush, and I did some splatter. And I liked that, but I went in afterwards and I added the 2 butterflies, and they were a little, wonky because my layers had dimensionals behind there and stuff. So I'm going to do the butterflies ahead of time because I really liked the way that the butterflies looked on there. So I'm doing the butterflies in the pebbled path, and I'm double dipping on my block. So I've got the outline butterfly on one side, and I've got the inside fill on the other side. So I don't need 2 blocks for this. I just need this. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to come in here. And I'm actually going to use that Post-it for something. I'm going to use it as a mask. So I'm going to just come up here and put this butterfly up here, but like off the card a little bit, like that. And then I'm going to take the butterfly, and I'm just doing the outline first, and I'm going to put this one, the full butterfly, right there. Then I'm going to just wash that stamp really quick so I don't get ink all over myself again. So then I'm going to actually use this part that I used for my stamping off and masking so that I can have it at the right angle. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp up that fill, and I want to stamp off so that I get most of the ink off of that stamp, because I want this to be a little bit lighter on the inside. I'm just going to come in here and now stamp down so that I get a lighter image on the inside. Up there, and come in and just fill that butterfly, just like that. Boom, boom, just like that. All right, move that off to the side. Now, what I think that I'd like to do with this one before I layer it on anything is I just want to give it, because I know there's a lot going on the piece itself, but it still looks kind of plain to me. So I'm going to take my blending brush that I used for my pebbled path, and I'm just going to come in and swipe the edges. It's going to give it almost a little, distressed, or to me, I think it looks like when you use the pebbled path, specifically, it gives it almost an antique-y kind of a look. Just being really light. Just coming all the way around. It just gives it that little something. It almost gives it, like an old photograph kind of a look coming in here. So I don't know if you can really tell. All right. So now I want to do, actually what I want to do is we have to do something on the inside. So what I'm going to do on the inside, because I already have my, rose bouquet still on here, I'm just going to take this and I'm going to ink it up, but I am going to, we can actually ink it up in black, I guess. I don't want the whole thing. I just want to stick like one rose on the inside. So I'm just going to come over and ink up like one rose. I'm not going to get too crazy about that. And this piece, this is actually the other piece that I cut for the other card, but the size is good for what I'm going to do for the inside. So I'm just going to I'm going to hover over my paper so that I can see where I want to place that image down in this corner. And I'm just going to come down and just give it a little whack. Now I did get, because I stamped off, I've got a little bit of ink on that glass mat, so we'll just wipe that up. And then, I did, on my sample card, I did use a splatter stamp. I'm not really sure which one I used for that, so we won't do anything there. What we'll do is the same thing that we did on the front, is we'll give this just a little, this is how card making goes. You just figure it out. Just figure it out as you go. And this is, I didn't re-ink my blending brush. This is just ink that was on the brush already. And I'm just kind of coming in here and just giving it a little something, something. All right. So now we can take I'm going to take the card base and these layering pieces and do some assembling. I'm just going to grab my bone folder. I'm going to fold my cardstock. Now, when you make a score mark, you have like an indent on, on one side of the paper. So it's like debossed on this side and embossed on this side, if that makes sense. You always want to fold towards the embossed side, so the raised side. It's just the paper will fold better that way. It won't bite you so much. So I'm just going to line up those edges just to make sure I got a nice, good, even score to that. I'm going to put that inside in first. I'm just going to come in here and load that up with some glue. Probably a little too much glue in that corner, just a little there. And I am just going to line this up on the inside, like so. And just give that a minute to dry. So there's the inside of your card. And you can stamp a sentiment there. I mean, I like to leave some white space inside the card for you to write your own message. So, you know, I would also recommend if you're going to stamp a sentiment on the inside that you do it before you glue the inside to the inside of the card, the inside panel to the inside of the card. Because then you would have, if you did smudge or whatever, you could flip the inside panel over and give it another go. So I'm just going to take my cherry cobbler layering piece and take this, making sure that my card is upright. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess, for this piece. And I'm just going to do and make sure that I am nice and even on all four sides. Get that to adhere. Give that a second to do its thing. And then I'm going to actually put that top panel on with Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm just going to take this, flip it over, throw some Stampin' Dimensionals on there. And this is a big piece, so I am putting lots of, oh, that one came right off. The backing stuck to that one when I took it off. So I'm putting 9 on there just so that I've got some support in the middle of the long and in the actual middle of the card, because you don't want it to sag. All right. Then we're just going to come in and do the same thing. You're just going to, I'm lining up. I'm looking at the top and the sides because this was cut to the same exact as the, shape as the cherry cobbler, just down, an 1/8 of an inch. There should be a 1/16 of an inch here and 1/16 of an inch here and a 16th of an inch here. And if there is, when you put this down, your bottom border will also be. So there we go. Voila, voila. And we are, oh, good morning, Luann. All right, so I am going to use the iridescent pearls for the embellishments. Now, with my sample card, I had some, I don't know, but they were, I'll show you the sample card again so you can see it. They were just some black and red ones. I have no idea where I even got them, but I thought for that particular card, that's what I wanted. Okay. Oh, what am I even, I'm getting ahead of myself. We didn't do the sentiment yet. So actually, I think I might do that one. I might do the You Are Loved. So make this a You Are Loved instead of that one. So I'm just going to use this piece that I have here that's wrapped. I'm just going to use this one. And I'm going to come in here with the pebbled half. Oh my goodness, with these backings, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. Everywhere but the trash where they should be. So, all right, so we're going to come in here with a You Are Loved. Pop that on there. And then let's die cut that with this one of these dies from the Labeled with Love. Let's see how that looks. All right, so I'm just lining this up. I'm just doing this off camera, so I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Do that real quick. You'll hear the cracking and the popping. Cracking and the popping, like my knees when I go downstairs now. Okay. All right. So actually, the other thing I like the little silicone mat that goes with the Glass Mat Studio is you can actually just throw your dies there so until you're done with your project so that you can take care of them. So I'm going to take this. I like the way that this has, you can't really see. Oh, right there. It's got like a nice little edge on it, but I think I'm just going to take that. I'm going to just give it that same antique-y look. I think it will stand out like a sore thumb if I put it on that card without a little bit of this distressing. So I'll just do that. And then, I mean, I'm thinking that it can just go right here. I don't know. Maybe up here. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think? I think that actually looks pretty good on the inside. I think on the front it covers up a little bit more than I want it to. It covers up too much of the rose. And it covers up too much of the gray rose here. So inside, yeah, I agree. Inside. Let's put it inside. So we're going to use our multi-purpose glue then, because you don't want to use dimensionals if you're putting your stuff on the inside, because you don't want bulk on that cover and also on the inside. So we'll just put that in there. Oh yeah, that looks nice. That looks good. All right. Good choice. Good choice. All right. So now we're going to get our iridescent pearls. Well, you can see those. They're so pretty. And I'm just going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I'm going to just get some pearls, and I'm just going to throw some on here. Put one there. I'll put one over here. And then we'll come in down here. Put one in there. Just like that. There. And there is our card. Beautiful. On the inside. So there's that one. This is my, let me move this stuff out of the way. This is my sample card. This is the one that I made. So I had, so I did, like, I missed it here, on this one. And I used for the embellishments, I had some black rhinestones. So I did 2 black rhinestones and then the 1 red to match the theme. And this one I did the thing on the inside, and then I used this little splatter. I think the splatter stamp is the one from Seaside Wishes. So there's that one. Then I'll just show you some of the others that I did. This is the same card, but just in all gray for a sympathy card. And this is that heartfelt sympathy stamp set. My absolute favorite. That it's from a stamp set called Close as a Memory from 2006. And then this this die is from it's a retired die set for Thoughtful Expressions. This one actually just retired this year. So, and I did this on a black card base there. So there's that one. I'll try to fit all of these in the window here. And then I have one that is done in blue. So all blue, just, and you don't have, well, I did little yellow, the insides of these little flowers, I did yellow. And I did use some Wink of Stella. Oh, this one I didn't use Wink of Stella. I used a glitter pen just to kind of hit the inside of the roses. This one I used Wink of Stella. It's a glitter. Oh, there you can see a little bit of glitter there, just to give it a little something. So there's that one. Do I have these all in the camera? I do. Yeah. Okay. It's tight, but they're in there. And then I also I did this one with yellow roses and with the green. And this is one that just opens this way here. Put a little gift card in there. This is one where I used the die to cut that center, that big rose out of the bouquet and just lift it up on dimensionals. You can see that a little bit there. There's that one. And then this one, so this is one, I absolutely love this card. This is one that I cased from a demonstrator. I believe her name is Michelle Jutrissa. I believe she is from Australia. And she called this ghost masking, I believe. So this is done on Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and this is just using the craft white ink to stamp the image, and then also to do the masking of the blending of the roses, filling in of the roses, of the flowers. This one was just amazing. But the white craft ink is a craft ink, which means it takes longer to dry. It is what is the word? A pigment-based ink, so it takes a lot longer to dry. So you really have to be careful when you're working with the white. You either need to heat set it, or you need to wait for it to dry. And then I just did on the inside. Happy to celebrate you with a different splatter. So there they are. There are all of the cards. There they are. Love, love, love this stamp set. I have been working with this one. I am really, really loving it. So let me just come back to me. Me. So here I am. So a couple of things. I am actually, before I sign off here, I am working on a website. We'll see. Wish me luck on that. I do have, I just signed up for on StampinUp.com. I just signed up to have a storefront website on StampinUp.com. So you can actually, I'll actually put the link to that in the comments of this video. You can actually go to that website, and you can click on the link, go to the website, and you would be shopping with me. There's nothing really on there. I only signed up yesterday, so I need to add content to it. So I thought this is a good one. I'll work on getting the the products that I used, the dimensions, and some photos of these cards on that website for projects. Morning hour, Judy. And we'll see how how that goes. I'm also working on a separate website that I can link to that one, where I can do just other craft related or card related projects. Maybe a blog, something like that. But we'll see how that goes, because that's all techie stuff that I don't really know anything about. So I'm learning as I go. And yeah, and so look for, also, I know I posted a little teaser on my Facebook page, the Tatted Stamper, for a project that I was working on, little card kits, little card bundles. And I'm just going to make I'm just going to make these card bundles, and you get to pick 10 cards, 10 occasions that you want in there. I won't be posting the specific cards, because I will likely be making them to order. So yeah, you would get to pick the box that you want your cards to go in, and then tell me whether you want 10 birthday cards, or 10 thank you cards, or hopefully not 10 sympathy cards, but anyway. So that's coming. I have to do that. I have to put this craft room back together so that it's workable. And yeah, so I hope that you liked these cards as much as I like them. I love them. I've actually already given 3 of them out to people. I've sent 3 different versions of this card out to people because I just love them. And yeah, so I hope that you have a great, yes, Luann, I assorted cards. Just hold on 1 second. Hold on. Oh, I know, here I am. I should have just gotten up, but I'm wearing leggings, and I didn't want, those are not going to be on camera. So this is actually one of the things that I'm working on. They're books. They're books that open the cards. They're books. So you can have a book of cards, and the box is just going to be, reusable. So yeah, it'll be fun. But I have to make a whole bunch of them. So yeah, I guess I need to go so I can get crack-a-lackin' on that. All right. Thanks for joining me. Hope you make these cards. If you are interested in the stamp set, in the bundle, you can get it. I'll post the link where you can shop with me on stampinup.com. And yeah, looking forward to, one more really quick before I go. I am actually, just a really quick announcement. I've decided that I'm going to start doing some card classes at the Gathering Place in Somersworth. So look forward to that coming also. Okay. All right. Everybody, have a great Sunday. I hope you get out and enjoy your day. I don't know. I mean, the rain needs to clear here before I'm going outside. But I hope you have a great day, and see you later.